Loyalty ain't about who laughs with you at the party. It's about who prays for you when you're at your lowest. Fake friends don't fall out your life by accident. They fall out because your spirit is leveling up. And when you cut them off, that's not hate, that's self-respect. Loyalty is one of the most misunderstood words in relationships. People confuse it with time. They think just because someone has been around for years, they automatically earn a permanent place in your life. The truth is, history is not the same thing as loyalty. You can share a childhood with someone, go through school together, celebrate birthdays, even sit side by side through struggle, and still find out that person was never really loyal to you. Time does not transform a person's character. Loyalty is proven by consistent actions, not the calendar. If a person has known you for 10 years but has never truly supported your vision, encouraged your growth, or stood tall when you were at your lowest, that is not loyalty, that is just familiarity. The problem with holding on to people simply because of history is that it keeps you chained to the past. It stops you from moving into the future you are destined to create. Many people disguise themselves as friends, but when your life starts to shift upward, their behavior reveals the truth. They get quiet when you win, they go missing when you need them most, and sometimes they even hope you fail because your growth reminds them of everything they refuse to work on in themselves. Loyalty is not measured by who laughs with you when life is fun. It is measured by who sacrifices, who supports, and who believes even when the odds are stacked against you. Think about how dangerous it is to confuse history with loyalty. If you let years of knowing someone blind you, you will miss the reality of how they treat you. The one who clapped for you in front of the crowd but whispered doubt behind closed doors. The one who pretended to cheer but secretly compared themselves to you. The one who stayed around only because of what they could gain from your light. These are not loyal people. They are actors. They wear the mask of history to gain access to your present and sabotage your future. True loyalty does not just survive time, it thrives under pressure. It grows stronger when tested, not weaker. There is a reason why growth often feels lonely. The higher you climb, the more people reveal who they truly are. Some friends are meant only for the version of you they first met, not the version you are becoming. They are comfortable with the old you because the old you did not challenge them. But the new you, the you that is building, elevating, and striving for purpose, threatens the comfort of their stagnation. They want you to stay small because it makes them feel safe. This is why you cannot confuse years of knowing someone with years of being supported by someone. History is in the past, loyalty is in the present. When you finally separate the two, you begin to understand that respect for yourself is more important than the length of a friendship. If someone cannot clap when you win, pray when you struggle, or speak up when you are wrong, then their presence is not a gift, it is a liability. Respect yourself enough to stop giving passes to people who have only offered you history but never loyalty. Protecting your energy is an act of self-love, and it begins by removing the illusion that time equals trust. Now let us talk about energy. Energy is one of the most valuable currencies we have, yet most people spend it carelessly. Just like you would not give away all your money to someone who wastes it, you should not give away your energy to people who drain it. Every conversation you have, every moment you spend with someone, every thought you entertain is an investment of energy. The return on that investment depends on who and what you give it to. If you constantly pour energy into fake friends, negative environments, and toxic conversations, you are spending the most valuable currency of your life on something that leaves you empty. The reality is that energy shapes your future more than money ever will. Money can be lost and regained, but once your energy is drained in the wrong places, you cannot get back the time it cost you. Every person you allow into your life either adds to your energy or subtracts from it. There is no neutral ground. If you spend hours with someone and leave feeling tired, doubtful, or uninspired, that is a withdrawal. On the other hand, if you spend time with someone and leave feeling motivated, encouraged, and focused, that is a deposit. The people you surround yourself with are either building your energy account or bankrupting it. When you realize that energy is currency, you stop making emotional decisions about who gets your time. You begin to ask yourself real questions. Does this person make me better or keep me stuck? Does this conversation inspire me or drain me? Does this relationship feed my spirit or starve it? The answers to these questions determine whether someone deserves to stay in your circle or needs to be removed. It is not about hate, it is about value. If your energy is your wealth, then you must guard it with the same discipline you would guard your bank account. Think about it like this. Imagine if every thought, every interaction, every favor you gave someone cost you actual dollars. Would you still give so much to people who never pay you back in loyalty, in respect, and love? Probably not. You would quickly cut off the ones who are draining your resources without return. That is exactly how you must treat your energy. Every time you allow fake friends to take your time and attention, you are giving away your wealth of spirit. You are allowing them to spend your currency on their selfishness while you are left broke in peace, focus, and clarity. Protecting your energy requires discipline, and discipline often feels like sacrifice. Cutting people off does not always feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. When you stop pouring energy into people who do not value it, you suddenly have more to invest in your goals, your health, your dreams, and the few people who truly deserve your loyalty. This shift transforms your life. You begin to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned with your purpose. Energy is contagious. When you keep negative, fake friends around, their doubts, fears, and bad habits start to rub off on you. You do not even notice it at first, but slowly your own fire begins to dim. You question yourself more, you procrastinate, you feel heavy. That is the silent cost of keeping fake people in your life. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who radiate positivity, ambition, and love, your own energy multiplies. You move faster, think clearer, and feel more alive. That is the wealth of investing your energy wisely. At the end of the day, treating your energy as currency forces you to become intentional about your circle. You cannot afford to give away pieces of yourself to people who are not invested in your growth. Your energy is what fuels your journey, your hustle, and your vision. If you spend it recklessly, you will always feel stuck. But if you invest it wisely, you create a life filled with abundance, peace, and unstoppable momentum. Peace is one of the most underrated forms of wealth a person can own. Many people live their whole lives chasing relationships, friendships, and approval just to keep certain people around them, even when those people destroy their sense of inner balance. The truth is that peace is far more valuable than presence. Having someone close who constantly drains you, disrespects you, or distracts you is like holding on to a heavy weight while trying to climb a mountain. You may still climb, but the journey becomes slower, more exhausting, and filled with unnecessary pain. Choosing peace often means releasing certain presences, no matter how familiar or comfortable they once felt. We are often conditioned to believe that keeping people around is a sign of strength and loyalty, but in reality it can become a sign of weakness if their presence is costing you your mental clarity, focus, and happiness. Peace gives you the ability to think clearly, to dream freely, and to make decisions with vision rather than pressure. When you sacrifice peace just to keep people in your life, you are betraying yourself for the sake of comfort. Presence without value is not a blessing, it is a burden. Think about the way your energy shifts when you are surrounded by people who do not respect you or who only pretend to support you. Their presence may be loud, but it is not nourishing. You leave interactions with them feeling drained instead of uplifted, doubtful instead of confident, heavy instead of light. On the other hand, when you are surrounded by people who genuinely love you, encourage you, and respect your mission, their presence does not disturb your peace, it protects it. This is the difference between simply being around people and being around the right people. When you start valuing peace above presence, you also begin to see how many relationships in your life were rooted in fear rather than growth. Fear of being alone, fear of losing history, fear of confrontation. But once you decide that peace is the standard, fear no longer has control. You begin to walk away from fake smiles, manipulative conversations, and toxic attachments because you understand that peace is the soil where your vision grows. Without it, nothing can truly flourish. There is a deep strength in learning to sit alone in peace rather than sit surrounded by people in chaos. Some of the greatest breakthroughs happen when you create that space for yourself. In silence, you hear your own thoughts. In solitude, you discover your own power. And in peace, you find the clarity to keep running your marathon with discipline and purpose. Never confuse the noise of presence with the wealth of peace. Presence can be temporary, but peace is eternal when it is protected. Building with the right people is one of the most important decisions you will ever make in life. A tight circle with a strong foundation will take you further than a crowd filled with empty promises. The truth is that not everyone around you is meant to be part of your journey. Some people are passengers who only ride when it benefits them, while others are partners who push the car forward even when the road is uphill. You have to recognize the difference because your future depends on it. A strong circle is not measured by the number of people in it, but by the quality of the energy they bring. 1,000 fake supporters will collapse faster than 5 real believers. Think of it like building a house. If the foundation is weak, it does not matter how many walls you put up. The whole structure will eventually fall. Your circle is the foundation of your life. If you build with people who are jealous, negative, or inconsistent, your growth will always be shaky. But if you build with people who are loyal, motivated, and disciplined, your future stands firm no matter how hard the storm hits. Surrounding yourself with the right people creates a culture of accountability and strength. When your circle is tight, everyone pushes each other higher. No one allows you to settle for mediocrity. They remind you of your vision when you forget. They check you when your actions do not align with your words. They celebrate your wins without envy, and they carry some of the weight when life gets heavy. That is what a strong foundation looks like. But when your circle is weak, the opposite happens. You find yourself giving more than you receive, explaining your vision to people who do not even care, and carrying the weight of others while no one helps carry yours. A weak circle pulls you backward while convincing you that they are standing still. That is why you cannot afford to let everyone walk with you. A wide circle without loyalty is nothing but a crowd, and a crowd will cheer for you today and vanish tomorrow. Choosing a tight circle requires discernment. It means paying attention not to what people say but to how they move. Do they show up when it matters? Do they respect your boundaries? Do they bring new opportunities, new perspectives, new encouragement? Or do they only bring gossip and distraction? Every person in your circle is either a brick that strengthens your foundation or a crack that weakens it. You cannot build a legacy on cracks. The beauty of a tight circle is that it gives you confidence to keep moving forward. You no longer waste energy looking over your shoulder, wondering who is plotting against you or who is secretly rooting for your downfall. Instead, you move with certainty because you know your foundation is solid. And with that confidence, you can take bigger risks, chase bigger dreams, and endure bigger challenges. A tight circle does not just support you, it multiplies your strength. Peace over presence and a tight circle over a wide one are two principles that separate those who keep running their marathon from those who fall off the track. When you understand that peace is more valuable than keeping people around for comfort, you begin to protect your inner world. And when you commit to building with a small but strong circle, you begin to protect your outer world. Both together create a balance that allows you to grow without fear and to keep hustling without distraction. There is a dangerous truth that many people overlook when it comes to the people around them. Not everyone who claps when you win is genuinely happy for you. Some people smile in your face but secretly grind their teeth in frustration at your progress. Fake support is one of the most toxic forms of energy you can allow into your circle because it disguises itself as love while planting seeds of jealousy. It is not the obvious enemy that openly wishes you harm. It is the quiet companion who stands next to you during your victories but deep inside cannot stand to see you rise above them. Jealousy often hides behind polite words and empty congratulations. You can feel it in the hesitation before they clap, in the lack of real excitement in their tone, in the way they change the subject quickly when the conversation shines too much light on your growth. Fake supporters are dangerous because they take up space that could be filled by genuine believers. They linger close enough to watch but never close enough to build. And when your energy starts to falter, they will not lift you higher, they will step aside and let you stumble because secretly, your stumble gives them peace. The hardest part about fake support is that it often comes from people you trusted the most. The ones you thought would celebrate your success louder than anyone else can sometimes become the very ones who resent it. They may not say it directly, but you feel it in their absence when your blessings arrive. They show up to the struggle but disappear during the breakthrough. This is why discernment is so important. You cannot measure loyalty by words, only by consistency. A true friend celebrates you like your success belongs to them too. They understand that your win is not their loss, because they are too busy building their own lane to envy yours. Learning to identify fake support is not about becoming bitter. It is about becoming wise. Wisdom teaches you to stop giving front row seats to people who secretly hope you fail. It teaches you to recognize the difference between someone who loves to see you shine and someone who only sticks around because they want to keep you close enough to compare themselves against you. The moment you begin to grow beyond the box they created for you, their mask slips. They start throwing subtle shade disguised as jokes, they start minimizing your progress, or they distance themselves to avoid facing the reflection of what they refuse to become. You must protect your vision from hidden jealousy because jealousy is not passive, it is active. It breeds gossip, it spreads doubt, and it creates distractions designed to slow you down. If you allow it too close, it can poison your spirit before you even realize it. That is why it is better to walk alone with peace than to walk surrounded by people who secretly resent you. Authentic support is rare, and when you find it, it multiplies your strength. Fake support, on the other hand, drains you while pretending to feed you. Learn to tell the difference and have the courage to act on it. Now let us talk about what it really means to cut people off. Cutting people off is not an act of hate or bitterness. It is one of the highest acts of self-respect you can practice. Too often, people stay in toxic friendships or one-sided relationships because they fear being seen as cold or heartless. But walking away is not about being cruel, it is about protecting the most valuable parts of yourself. If someone consistently disrespects your energy, undervalues your presence, or poisons your peace, keeping them around is not loyalty, it is self-betrayal. Self-respect requires boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that keep everyone out. They are filters that protect your energy by only letting in what aligns with your growth. When you set boundaries, you are telling the world that your life has value and not everyone deserves equal access to it. Cutting people off who cross those boundaries is not revenge, it is discipline. You are not punishing them, you are protecting you. There is power in recognizing that you do not owe endless access to anyone. Too many people confuse loyalty with obligation. They think they must keep certain people close because of shared history, family ties, or past experiences. But loyalty is a two-way street. If someone is not showing up with the same respect, energy, and belief that you pour into them, then keeping them close is a violation of your own self-worth. The longer you hold on to people who drain you, the more you delay your own growth. Cutting off fake friends is an act of alignment. It says that you are serious about your purpose and you are no longer willing to carry dead weight. It creates space for real supporters to enter your life. People who bring value instead of drama, people who push you forward instead of pulling you back. Every time you let go of a toxic connection, you open the door for a healthy one. But that door cannot open until you respect yourself enough to close the old one. Respecting yourself enough to cut people off also builds confidence. It teaches you that your worth is not defined by how many people surround you, but by the quality of the relationships you keep. It shows you that you can walk away from manipulation, disrespect, and fake love without fear. And in that act of walking away, you reclaim your power. Self-respect is the ability to choose yourself without apology. It is the understanding that saying no to others is sometimes the highest way of saying yes to your own destiny. The truth is, people will test how much you respect yourself. They will push boundaries, they will take advantage of your kindness, and they will see how far they can go before you push back. If you allow it, they will drain your energy without limit. But when you finally stand firm and cut them off, you send a message not only to them but also to yourself. The message is simple: my peace matters, my energy matters, my future matters. That declaration is the essence of self-respect. Cutting people off is not about creating enemies. It is about creating space for authenticity. It is about building an environment where your spirit can thrive. It is about understanding that not everyone is meant to walk every chapter of your story. Some people belong only in the introduction, not the ending. Respect yourself enough to stop dragging people from the past into your future. The moment you realize that your growth is more important than their approval is the moment you truly begin to honor your worth. Silence is one of the most powerful responses you can ever give to disrespect. When someone tries to pull you into conflict, they are seeking control over your energy. They want you to react, to argue, to prove yourself, because your reaction feeds their ego. The louder you respond, the more you give them exactly what they want. But silence is different. Silence strips them of the satisfaction of seeing you rattled. It forces them to sit with their own actions without the comfort of your reaction. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the wisdom to understand that some battles are not worth fighting because winning them brings no value to your growth. Distance works the same way. When you step back from people who disrespect you, you are not running from them, you are protecting your space. Distance shows that you no longer operate on their level. It shows that you refuse to waste time explaining to someone who has already decided not to understand you. Silence and distance together speak louder than any argument ever could. They say more than anger, more than revenge, more than explanation. They say that your peace is too valuable to be sacrificed in the arena of small minds. When you learn the art of silence, you also learn the art of discipline. Anyone can lash out, anyone can argue endlessly, but it takes true strength to walk away with dignity. This is not about suppressing your emotions, it is about mastering them. Emotional mastery is a sign of maturity. It means you are no longer controlled by outside forces. You choose when and where to invest your voice, and you refuse to waste it in places where it cannot produce change. Think about how energy works in conflict. The more you engage, the more you feed it. Arguments become fires, and the more words you throw in, the bigger the fire grows. Silence starves that fire. Distance deprives it of fuel. Eventually, it burns out on its own. The one who disrespected you is left with nothing to feed on, nothing to use against you, nothing to hold over you. And in that emptiness, they reveal who they really are. Without your energy, their mask falls apart. Silence and distance also build respect. People notice when you refuse to lower yourself into petty battles. They notice when you carry yourself with calmness while others lose control. That presence becomes undeniable. You show that you are not moved by negativity, and that level of composure commands attention. Silence is not about ignoring forever. Sometimes silence is temporary, sometimes distance is permanent, but in either case, they both protect your dignity. You will never regret holding your peace, but you will often regret wasting words on people who never deserve them. Now consider the journey of growth and how it changes your relationships. The path to purpose is not crowded, and the higher you climb, the fewer people you will find walking beside you. The marathon is lonely not because you are unworthy of companionship, but because not everyone is built for the pace, the discipline, and the sacrifices required to keep running. Growth demands separation. It demands that you leave behind those who refuse to evolve, those who choose comfort over ambition, those who want shortcuts while you are committed to the long race. Loneliness in the process of growth is often misunderstood. Many think it is a punishment, but in reality it is preparation. When you are alone, you develop resilience. You learn to depend on your vision rather than validation. You discover strength you did not know you had because there is no one else to lean on. That solitude is what transforms you. It molds you into the type of person who can carry the weight of responsibility and the pressure of leadership. The marathon being lonely is not a curse, it is a filter. It filters out the ones who only wanted to run when the road was smooth. It reveals who is willing to endure the long nights, the early mornings, the setbacks, and the sacrifices. Most people will drop off because the cost of growth is too high. They prefer the comfort of staying the same. And that is fine, but it also means they cannot remain beside you on your journey. The path narrows the higher you climb, and only those who share your discipline can keep up. There will be moments when loneliness feels heavy, but in those moments remember that you are never truly alone. The vision within you is company. The dream burning inside you is companionship. Every step you take forward, even when taken alone, brings you closer to the reality you are building. That understanding turns loneliness into focus. It allows you to stop chasing companionship and start embracing alignment. You no longer seek anyone just to fill the space. You only seek those whose spirit matches the mission. The beauty of embracing the loneliness of the marathon is that it eventually leads you to your true circle. When you refuse to settle for fake friends, fake support, and toxic attachments, you create space for real ones to enter. And those real ones are rare, but they are worth every lonely season it took to find them. They show up with authenticity, with belief, with genuine energy. They do not just cheer for you, they build with you. They do not just enjoy the rewards, they endure the process. They understand the grind because they are grinding too. The lonely path of growth also teaches you independence. It proves that even if no one claps, you can still run. Even if no one believes, you can still believe. Even if no one supports, you can still stand. That level of independence is priceless because it means your purpose is no longer tied to the approval of others. It means your journey is fueled from within, not from outside applause. And once you reach that point, no fake friend, no hidden jealousy, no disrespect can ever take your peace again. Every stage of this journey comes back to one truth. Protecting your energy, protecting your circle, and protecting your peace is not about cutting people off out of hate. It is about choosing yourself out of love. Growth will always demand separation. It will always require you to step away from fake friends, hidden jealousy, and empty support so you can stand firm in your purpose. Silence, distance, discipline, and loyalty are not just words, they are tools for the marathon. They help you guard your spirit, sharpen your vision, and keep running no matter who falls behind. If you take anything away from this, let it be this: your life is too valuable to waste on the wrong people. Respect yourself enough to choose peace over presence, authenticity over appearances, and self-respect over approval. The right ones will align with you naturally. The wrong ones will fall away on their own. Keep running, keep building, and keep honoring your worth because the marathon continues. Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting, and thank you for being part of this journey. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay true to yourself. Your time is coming.